And we're live, I think. Yeah? Yeah. All right. Hi, everyone. Exciting days. Small steps for humanity, big step for me. So I'm continuing to practice these random live streams. Today I'm in a different place. I'm in my home. And just got some help with setting up my home studio. And so this is also a test drive. What's coming out when I sit here? Yeah. It makes me giggle a little bit. It's like having one's own show that I can decide over fully, completely. And I was just tuning into, and maybe if you see this, you can also feedback. I mean, that is actually very helpful for me. I function very well when people ask me questions or requests. So I was pondering how I somehow can find a structure for this to be inspirational and motivating, and where I can provide value and also grow. So I had this idea, like, yeah, maybe once a week I can read a book, or maybe I read, a chapter from that book and dive into that book, for a few weeks, one day a week. One day I might do some physical practice. It can be a tantric practice. It can be a breathing practice. It can be anything movement-based, embodiment, to give value to you. One day it could be that I share personal stories from my life. I have had a quite rich life, and there is a lot to share about my insights and stories, quite out of the box and extreme. So that could be one day, yeah. And one day could be specific teachings, yeah, on self-mastery, on empowerment, on relationship, on sexuality, on spirituality. Yeah? My toolbox is very broad. Yeah. So for you who don't know me, I've been on the path for. I was counting the other day, and apart from in my teenage years, I was really interested in anything health and spirituality already in my teenage years. Yes, I was studying the Hindu gods. I was studying herbs just for fun. Yeah, and then I really started with my spiritual practice in '99. So that is 25 years ago now. So. And during that period of time, during these years, I've been sniffing around in various corners, and I have had amazing transformational experiences, and I've really got to embody a lot of different teachings, and which have brought me to be able to offer something what I would call, self-mastery or integrated spirituality today. Because I really believe the importance of doing trauma work and the inner work, and learn about our boundaries and learn about our emotions, and really find a place of high EQ, emotional intelligence. I think that is super important. Yeah. And but that's like the fundamentals. Yeah, that's not. With that said, doesn't mean it's easy. Yeah, something that can be the most challenging is to just simply be human. Yeah, it's not that we learn to be humans in schools, in our society. We are very well trained to learn anything, but that's what truly matters. And I don't know if you can relate to that. Yeah, like we are kind of born into this world and somehow forced into a structure, into a form that nobody really agreed upon. Like, I don't know about you, but I didn't sign a contract that I'm supposed to follow certain rules or certain formats or behave in certain ways. I mean, naturally, as a heartfelt, connected human beings, we want others well, yeah. So I'm speaking to you who living a heartfelt life, who live in your heart, who wants people well, who are healthy in yourselves, yeah. This is the people, the audience that I'm talking to, yeah. And that is something that can really piss me off. Is the control society that I feel like I have not, like I'm a sovereign human being. I have the right, just like you have and everybody else have the right to decide over your own feelings, over your own life, over yourself, yeah? Really, and it's somehow, we are not allowed to do that. You know, or many, even worse, that people are so programmed into believing they don't have a choice, yeah, because we are manipulated all the way from birth, yeah. And so that is something that gets me going so much, is the control society, and especially nowadays, the more digital we go. So, for example, the banks, how they control money, and you're not allowed to handle cash, at least not in Sweden, in the same way, or you're not allowed to transfer money in certain ways, like there is a finger on the pulse what I do and what we do all the time. And even if like me or you or anyone else doesn't have anything to hide, it's still fucking annoying. Like, I have not signed a contract, I have not said yes to that. I'm forced into a structure that I actually don't want. I don't want that. I want to make my own fucking choice of what I do with my money. I want to make my own fucking choice what I do with my life, yeah? I know I'm a healthy human being. I want well. I want to do what the fuck I want to do with my money. I want to use cash if I want to, or cards if I don't want, if I want to. I don't want anybody to fucking get so angry to decide what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like I'm a child to a parent that I never met, that doesn't even know me, that doesn't even give a fuck about me or you. Like, really. Whatever structure there is just a selfish, like a psychopathic structure that just claims the right to decide who we are going to be and how we're going to behave and what for, yeah? This is unhealthy. For me, that is unhealthy. my heart is pounding as I talk about it, because it matters to me. Freedom of choice. We all have the freedom of choice, but freedom and the responsibility, you know, it matters. And honestly, if we just understand that and start to wake up to our true inner gifts and our true power, then the outer authority won't have the power over us, yeah? And again, I'm emphasizing on heartfelt human beings who want to do good in the world, who live in alignment with heart, yeah? Because of course it needs to be rules and guidelines and so on, yeah? It's a part of a healthy structure as well, for those who need it, yeah? And I think I would have been more relaxed if I feel that the government or the leaders actually care about us. But do they, you know? Why, for example, isn't media used for positive news, for inspiring us to live healthy, for inspiring us to exercise, for inspiring us to have healthy, functional relationships, to promote living true to our life purpose, to our high life purpose? Why is media angled in such a way that it shows the ugliness and the pain and the suffering of the world? Yeah, it's scarcity, not scarcity. It puts fear, like it feeds the fear mentality, and that makes me wonder. Okay, so this machinery, this entity, the government, you know, and what's behind that, I don't know. What's the intention and what is it for? Like, you know, nowadays we are clever. There is so much studies on how we can take care of our health and what makes people more happy. Yeah, why is that not promoted? How come in 2024 that can be war? Yeah, how come that in 2024 there still can be war without a punishment? How is that possible? Yeah, how is that possible? Like, what is the type of leaders that we have if that is possible? Yeah, and how come there is no other healthy leaders who promote a different lifestyle? I mean, it's the same, and I don't know if it's ever going to change. You know, if we look at this eternal battle of light and dark, maybe it just needs to coexist, you know. But I question the format that we somehow have accepted, even if we never really accepted it, or didn't really have a choice to accept anything else. We have accepted the society as it is, the leaders for what they do, follow certain guidelines for certain rules, and if you don't do that, you're a bad citizen or you get punished in some way. Yeah, and that is the perfect way to control a population, people, is to put them into fear, is to point onto shame, to point towards guilt, and to activate those lower frequencies. Yeah, it really makes me frustrated. If I had healthy role models and healthy leaders I could follow, but something inside of me have always instinctually felt that something is wrong, that something is off with the society that we live in. It just doesn't smell good, you know. It's just, people are so unhappy. And even in my courses, I often ask people on a show of a hand raise, you know, raise a hand, and how many of you ask yourself, isn't it more to life than this? And I ask them to raise a hand, and usually it's like 90% of a hand raise, where people are questioning themselves, isn't there more to life than this? Because they're unhappy, it feels pointless, because we never really learn what true meaning is, because we're searching in the wrong direction. And for me, that points towards, like, unhappy people points towards there's something wrong. Like, it's not a measurement of health to be well adjusted to profoundly sick society. It's a quote from Krishnamurti. It's not a measurement of health to be well adjusted to profoundly sick society. And I think it says it all, yeah. But somehow in that misery, you know, it's also evolution, and we can see how things are shifting today, even if it looks like it also goes to hell. Climate changes and war and suffering, starvation, distinct species, yeah, extinct. At the same time, there is also more people waking up. So, you know, thanks to this form of media, individuals like me and like you and like many others can show up and share their points of view of life and inspire and show a way, pave a path, and show what else is possible, yeah? Because it's not, often we lack that, you know, many people might grow up in a society and they don't have a healthy role model, they don't know what else is possible. It's just like this format, like the one form fits all kind of format. That is not true, of course, because one form never fits all. But many didn't have any like other touch points. So this is also amazing when it is when more people have access to internet like we do today, when we can show up and individually share and inspire and show different potentials, you know. So at the same time, awareness is rising, and when awareness is rising, you know, when we do the inner work, automatically we are increasing the level of consciousness of humanity. Now I got a little disturbed because somebody came into my apartment, so I lost track. But since, hey, we are raw and honest, I'm just going to sit with my falling off the horse for a moment. Levels of consciousness and humanity. And I read a book once where there is this man who have done a scientific research on the level of consciousness, and he done 250,000 studies on different levels of consciousness, where shame is the lowest. It vibrates on 20 megahertz per second, followed by guilt. I think it's 30, followed by apathy. I can't really remember. But the highest one is spiritual awakening, peace, which is on 1,000, I think. And most of humanity, and I think courage comes by 200. So when you find a place of courage, this is where you transform into more curiosity and expanded space. Anything below is more of a contracted space. And most of humanity, I think it's 83% of humanity, lives in the lower frequencies. And that thanks to that we have some awakened beings, some avatars, like a kind of lifting up humanity on an energetic level. And without these awakened beings, we would, you know, humanity would basically eat itself up in its own negativity. Yeah. And back in the days, I felt that like spiritual masters who went to a cave, or, you know, monks who would draw in temples and just did like a ton of meditation and went into spiritual states and purified their ego, their being, that was selfish, because I felt that the work is actually happening out in society, you know, in human interaction. This is hard. It's not easy. And that's been my belief for many years. And when I read this book, I realized even more, one, the importance of doing the inner work, because naturally when we do the inner work, it spreads like ripple effects out in humanity and people around us. And also, what that map showed me is that when we really go into deep spiritual practice, that this is really elevating humanity. So I kind of got tempted to disappear from human connections for some time and put myself in a temple or something to go deep inside. But most of all, what I notice is with many people that they don't think that they don't have an effect on the rest of us, or it doesn't matter what I do because it's already fucked, basically, which is not true. I think we're just looking in the wrong direction. So I'm going to start to round this up for today, and I want to encourage you to keep on following the subtle voice within and your truth, and really understand that all the work that you do from within always have ripple effects on the people and society at large. Well, thank you for the courage. And also, please, if you feel inspired by this, respond. Ask a question, share what you experience, your thoughts, what happens. And also, like I said in the beginning, if you feel that you want to learn something specific or want me to talk about something specific, then please let me know so I can give back. As I said, I function really well when people ask me questions. Wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.